Hello everyone, welcome back to what could possibly be the finale of our British campaign in Napoleon Total War. We only have to take this one region, Palma in the Balearic Isles of course, to get a campaign victory. To go through that, we have 24 out of the total provinces needed captured. And we have 6 out of 7 specific victory objectives taken, where we recently took Hanover from the Prussians and bribed them a tiny bit to end the war there. However, if we do leave that as it is, it's not entirely guaranteed that we will be staying at peace with the Prussians. If this drags on for any number of turns, we do have a hostile attitude between us. They might even declare war on us through that. That's because somehow we're quite unreliable. I'm not entirely sure what we've done to trigger that, but it's not to worry. If we can beat back the armies of Spain here in the next couple of turns, because it will take a couple of turns, we can't move once we've landed on to these islands here. We do need to wait a turn to defend ourselves and then actually attack Palma. So how are we going to do this? Because we're not currently at war just yet. We do have, let's see, Wellesley's army over here, fairly well experienced, but somewhat outdated in terms of cannons and cavalry. But that's not too much of a bother because at least this army over here seems to be largely provincial militia and some inferior standard line infantry. They do have some very good cavalry though. Some decent light cavalry is what the Spanish specialise in. But they'll certainly be able to take our cavalry one-on-one. We do have a fairly new type army over here full of fresh but elite infantry. Our real foot guard is making the bulk of that, as well as some Royal Scots Greys, a couple units of light dragoons and some guard heavy dragoons as well. So pretty damn decent, backed up by some 5-inch howitzers. The main army on Palma is actually fairly decent with a lot of militia, but it appears a lot of standard musketeers and light cavalry as well. Do we land with 2 armies together here? That sounds safest, doesn't it? I think that's really what we should do. Although, if we land with the elite army over here, that will quite likely drag the enemy from their garrison over here. And if we land with Wellesley, perhaps, does this count as... We can't really see if that counts as ambush territory with these trees. It probably isn't. But if we land at least on this area, we can catch any reinforcements from this bridge. So that's probably the way we're going to go. Let's declare our intentions then with Spain. Declare war on them. Where are we? We are not going to call our allies to help here. We're going to do this ourselves. Good one-on-one. So let's land Wellesley over here. Like that. So you can see the yellow area is our zone of control. He's not going into ambush stance. That's absolutely fine. That does, of course, cover the bridge there. So with this group, we're going to land in these trees. There we go. And hopefully, that just about does it. The Spanish do have a navy over here, but it's largely merchantmen and a couple frigates. So either of these particular fleets will be able to handle that by themselves. Let's see what they do on the end turn. So we have General Staff Technology Research. That's fine, but probably by the by at this point. And we have some construction. We have our supply warehouse in Hanover as most notable, steam dry dock in Provence. That's very decent indeed. We'll just flick up over to that just because it's one of my, it's just a bit of a pet peeve to leave new constructions like that unattended. We'll just have a look through the infrastructure here, and I've forgotten exactly where else we did have able constructions. I think it was about here. But it appears the Spanish want to play passively. So we could try and get 2 battles out of this. Are we able to move here? I don't think we can move actually over here because we're inside the zone of control of this army over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a classic total war tactic of sieging, like so. You can see we are in range there. And the enemy does have these guerrillas and line infantry over here available. But I think we're going to carry on the siege there and be very, very cheeky and actually just attack these 2 units over here and wipe those out if possible. Could auto-resolve that, but even with that strength, we're going to take some decent losses on both armies. So we are going to very quickly run through this. And there we go. We did manage to lose 6 people there. Not entirely sure how, but not a bother. Really not consequential whatsoever. Was attacking general there, so that's absolutely brilliant. What we will do is just stand. Oh, camera zoom in there. Yeah, it's not ambush worthy territory, but we'll stand here. And we will finally attack the final settlement of Palma here. Previously, this was Fortress Palma, and we weren't able to gain any sort of foothold here, which is why it's been left till last. But we can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of provincial militia with 3 morales. So they'll be routing backwards and forwards. We have Saragossa Legion, which appears to be a little more on the veteran side, limited by 1 apparently, but still morale of 9, accuracy 34, even chevron there. Got some lancers, got some line cavalry, Granada dragoons there. It's fairly heavy cavalry there. We have some standard musketeers. So one-on-one, these things can't match up to us. If it comes down to it, by some miracle, we can call in our reinforcements from Wellesley, and even if they manage to push us back in this particular battle somehow, this isn't the end of the campaign here. We have loads and loads and loads of money in our coffers. We have like 5 or 6 armies waiting in mainland Europe as well, but I'm sure we'll be just fine here. So before we press start battle, we're going to just run through our formation because I've tried something a little different and something really should have tried a lot earlier in this series. But we're going to try a very mild arrowhead formation. So that means we have a small centre which is made to take the brunt of enemy attacks. We're going to back that up with our howitzers, which are very short range. We've got a core over here of mild reinforcements under our general, and each line behind it just pulls back the tiniest bit and goes wider as you progress down, backed up by some cavalry. Got some light foot on either side as well to try and charge ahead and then retreat back and do some real skirmishing just to draw the enemy into our arrowhead here. And the idea of this is that even if one regiment gets targeted specifically, others can go around and envelop the enemy, engaging them to try and force more flanks, and we all get covering fire in some way or other there. So that's the general plan. We'll see how it goes. We've grouped everyone up to keep them in formation. Let's press move, and we're going to try and stay away from the town. Let's grab the formation and see if that's pretty much just forward here. Yeah, we'll go for about here, and we'll get moving. Enemy seems to have gone very, very wide in their formation. They've got standard musketeers in the centre, a lot of line infantry in the centre as well. I'm trying to spot their, where are they? The more veteran troops. So that's the Generosa Fusilier Battalion. That wasn't it, I don't believe. Do have some good cavalry on the rear. That's the case for both flanks. There's a Saragossa Legion. Interesting. Get a good close up there. Some decent uniforms actually across the board. I like their hats here. So we're just about in range now, pushing up our light infantry on our right side into the shrubbery over here, where they should be able to actually hide in there once they've deployed properly. And over here we're doing the same, but not quite so thick as the shrubbery over here, so we might have to pull back the tiniest bit. That's absolutely fine. One unit can deploy stakes, whilst the other cannot. That might be because these are Chasseurs Britanniques, and these are standard light foot, so that might just be an ability tied to them. Despite them having one chevron's difference, I don't believe you earn abilities based on chevrons. I've never known that to be the case. We decide to pull back from our initial location, which was about here-ish, just because the enemy has pushed their formation forwards. You can see they're all going forwards now. So we should be able to get our cannons well within range here. And they'll be able to draw the enemy in that much closer. So, how are we doing over here? It does say we're hidden, which is great. How are we here? We are not quite hidden. No, we're not hidden. That's absolutely fine. We don't need to be hidden because that will draw the enemy in even more. It's tempting to deploy stakes here, but I don't think that's much of a bother. We are firing out with our cannons. And we've got a few kills there. A fair handful of kills. Let's use this unit to go for the Genitares. And we'll go in this big blob, shall we, for the Genitares? Or we'll go for the Saragossa Legion, actually. If that does in fact listen to us. Are we rotating our cannons? Appears not. And just double check we're not getting friendly fire at least. Very nice hits into the centre here. And then I'll get him back up after that. I don't mean that as sarcasm. In this game you see people take cannonballs directly to the chest and they'll shrug it off after a quick rest. So, what are we doing over here with our light infantry? I think we push them up a tiny bit while the enemy's shifting their position, just to draw the enemy into our defensive position. We do the same over here. Take these units and go for these Genitares once again. We'll take them off fire at will and just reissue that properly, I think. Let's see if that helps us out. I don't see them making an effort to rotate, so that's fine. Deal with it. See what happens. Yeah, it's not going for them. Not a bother. Damage is damage either way. I wonder if we can snipe their general, actually. Not that anyone's really listening. But that'll be a permanent morale debuff for them. We're not currently in range with our lights. That's absolutely fine. Let's just pull over here. No need to double time, because that will tire us out and slow us down for the retreat. What we'll do is just push up to this shrubbery. We're really falling short with this, so we're in the field of fire with our light infantry there. Let's pull them towards the moving Saragossa Legion. We have some cavalry on our flank though, which we've just noticed. Some Granada Dragoons. And it looks like they're making a flank towards this area here, so we have to be very careful about that. Interesting. Looks like we're firing out over here towards the enemy as well. On our left side. They're not firing back just yet, are they? Well, they might be. They certainly are. Okay, well we can't take that. Double time backwards while they're reloading. How are we doing here? Are we getting any shots out? Might just be preparing for that, but we do see some cavalry coming in there. Interesting. Let's get the cannons if they want to listen to us on that cavalry. We are getting some shots out here. Let's pull back. How are we doing on the flank? Beating down that cavalry just about. That's absolutely fine. Now I do get covering squares if we do this properly. Keep ourselves out of the charge there and shoot them when they retreat. Lovely. Hopefully they really do shatter rather than simply rout. Doesn't seem to be the case just yet. Let's turn to face a little better. Double time that. How's our retreat going here? Absolutely fine. Turn to face properly and we'll all be good. Just watching the corner of the map, if we enlarge that, we do see the enemy's rousing now, but they're sending out a single unit of infantry there. What's going on with this? Gained a chevron of experience, lovely. Are we struggling with the terrain here? No, that's good. Enemy cavalry is thinking of coming in here. We don't quite cover our light infantry though, I don't think. And we do just a tiny bit. I think we'll take this by choice. We are in range to support there. And now I pull back just a tiny bit. Better to take the charge on the face rather than retreat and take it in the rear. How are we doing? Have we shattered that cavalry? We have. They're down to 7 men. Stay at the flank here and wait to get the provincial militia. This is only militia, so we shouldn't be able to form a square there. So what we'll do is we come from one side, diamond up with one lot, come from the other, stay as a block. Yeah, as we're retreating, that's all good. Now, I am going to hold fire here and allow ourselves to pull back very briefly, but we do need to remember that. Charge into the flanks of the militia. And just try and remember that we're doing that while we look back over here. Now we can fire at will once again here. What I'm going to do is just push up the tiniest bit here. Do see the enemy general is under some fire. Icons flashing, that's great over here. Getting some good fire out here. Do we have line of sight? Doesn't appear to be firing. We certainly do. Great stuff. So, what I'm going to do is limber up one unit of cannons to begin with. And actually another unit here. Because I've got a cheeky trick in mind. We're just trying to play a little too smart here. We'll bring our light infantry out of range for now. Get a charge going and pull out here. Looks like the enemy's going for a melee charge actually. So what we're going to do here is use the gaps in our lines to get some canister shots out. Is my cheeky trick, which I'm planning. We're very vulnerable though at the moment, aren't we, for that? I think what we do, canisters to the enemy's flank here. Pull back. Pull back. Because we're in a bit of trouble there. And now we move our lines over here. Taking a bit of a morale shock somehow there. How are we doing with that? Militia. Keep everyone on there. Make sure they shatter and keep an eye on that so we don't run off the battlefield. Taking a small melee charge here. It's rather unfortunate. What we can do is get our general here. And we can fire on the flanks with our light. Tell you what. Unlimber. Unlimber. And immediately to canister so we don't forget. And we will inspire this unit. Pull back so we don't take any flanking shots there. And are we canistering here? We really need to get these turned around because the canister is going to hurt our own men. There we go. Lovely. Now we are going to take some possible friendly fire here, but there's far more enemies to take that fire for us. Come on. Who's running? Yeah, the light infantry couldn't quite run. Jesus Christ, look at that. Melee charge here. Are our cannons actually ruddy bloody firing here? Okay, these are firing on the flanks, but that's absolutely fine. Don't mind defending flanks. Don't know why we're moving here. How are we doing with that cavalry? Needs to pull back and actually run off the infantry here. We need to make use of the cavalry on this flank. Double time, please. We have no time to waste. We're going to tidy up our flanks here. More men running. That's from that massive melee charge we've taken here. Okay. We're going to push up here. Bring this unit down to defend. Need to shoot this cavalry coming in now. Boost that. Should have squared, really. Should have squared a lot earlier. That cavalry might just make it through our howitzer line here. Oh, that's definitely going to make it through. This is going to have some friendly fire here. And we turn to engage cavalry. In fact, what we do is just melee in now. Push up. Friendly cavalry needs to push up and get people rousing properly. Our own cavalry here needs to get in the fray here, make sure nothing returns. Okay, we've defended that. We need to get our general out because he's under threat of friendly fire. Yeah, not a problem. So, a new tactic which didn't quite go according to plan. But that's absolutely fine. We're getting our friendly reinforcements in now. Very rarely see that. Get into this blob of militia immediately. Please, cavalry. You on the flanks here. And you over here. You need to pull back, do you? I don't think that is an issue there. Pull the general back here. Keep them going. That's absolutely fine. Make sure these keep retreating off, please. Snipe the enemy general, actually. And even push through to get their general here. Don't know how he's still alive, actually. Okay, how are we with our cannoneers? Are they still firing here? Or not anymore, because look at that cavalry charge right into our foot guards there. Pull round. Absolutely hectic. Got 50 people left of this unit foot guard. In fact, they're running now. Inspire against the cavalry, please. Yeah, sometimes different tactics just aren't worth it, are they? Got to go with what you know. It's not a bother. Snipe the general. Try and cause a big rout from the enemy. Getting a tiny bit surrounded here, actually. Where's our general? Keep pulling him back a tiny bit. We need to disrupt these Atares. Rousing the general, but we need him dead rather than rousing. We have killed him. Lovely stuff. Now we need to pull out and disrupt with all the cavalry we have. Really should have seen this and squared up earlier. Not a bother. It's this flank I'm really worried about now, but the rest of our lines aren't looking too bad. Maybe we can use these cannoneers to pick up some cannons, but I think all of our cannons are right to the centre here. So that's a little bit out of the question now, thinking about it. Push up, support the centre and our general, please. Cause havoc here. Pull one unit of cavalry back to make sure this unit doesn't come back, because they're still quite numbered. And push up over here. Chase down the cavalry, one unit. Retake the hill. Exit square. And we need to get some men over to help this area, don't we? Don't care how tired you are, you get a double time, that for sure. This unit of cavalry pretty much fine on the centre now. How are we doing here? Oh, that's Wellesley coming in as reinforcements. That's not good. He can't fight, so we're not going to use him. Guess on this unit of militia, because their morale's low, and we need to protect Wellesley now. This is fine. We'll keep that going so they don't return. And we need to be more active with this unit. Push up. Very, very spicy. Very spicy indeed. This needs to push up and provide support. Where's our general? Just trying to get my bearings. Need to push up behind here and provide morale support. Okay, we've routed here. Pull one unit down to get rid of the Saragossa Legion. We need to pull back here because that unit of Hussars might decide to come back. This really needs to turn to face, doesn't it? And we'll just push up here. Looks like we made contact with a minor square. We need to tell people to double time. Yeah, realize he's under attack from that unit of cavalry. It's not good. Don't know if he can outrun that. We do have 2 units of cavalry here. It's called a victory, but we need to make sure things carry on rousing. That's not as in a funny slapstick film either. Yeah, that cavalry's given up with that. So we'll just charge in here for now and try and pull through. Very, very messy indeed. Not a good defensive line whatsoever, was it? Just got completely overrun. Pull through. Pull through. Yeah, because that has completely shattered. This is thinking of rousing. Pretty fine there. It's just these few units left. Let's curl around then. Like so, double time. And that'll be absolutely fine. Let's pull Wellesley back. Great stuff. They're thinking of actually rousing. Let's pull through. Guess on top of them. Everything's rousing other than this one. Absolutely fine. Charge them with cavalry. Oh, accidentally pressed. Carry on. But that is, in fact, a victory, guys. Wow. Really, really bloody indeed. But that was a settlement battle, so we should take that now, and we'll see what the results are. Oh, wow. Final battle, quite likely, of this series. With probably the bloodiest battle as well. So what a way to go. We did lose a unit over here. We lost a unit of cannons. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Took a lot of losses though. Nearly 2,000 losses. It's a nice idea guessing the arrow formation, but unfortunately just too many people for that to really pull off. That's absolutely fine. We couldn't quite execute defensive manoeuvres against enemy cavalry charges, and enemy loves to go into melee apparently. Not a bother. And there we go, a true campaign victory. Gonna press continue so we can go over and occupy. Lovely. So yeah, campaign 1. You've successfully completed your campaign goals. Choose another nation to play again. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Kingdom destroyed. Spain. Finally! It was our initial war against Spain which gave us this victory. Got Madrid, Pamplona, Barcelona, shored up our defences then against Gibraltar, which gave us access to all of these lovely trade nodes. And then that's allowed us to move from the border, southern borders of France, all the way up, liberating Rennes over here, taking Caen, moving on to Paris, of course, and we liberated Brussels as well. That was then followed by preparation by finishing off France in Strasbourg as their final bastion. I believe Stuttgart as well we took from the Prussians, which was our next war to take very specifically Hanover over here. We did of course also take Copenhagen in between our war with France, because that is also a victory objective. The year is 1808. I don't know how to check exactly what sort of turn time that takes, but our income is a very healthy 38,000, and our, let's see, our prestige, it's very bloody high. Very, very bloody high indeed. So I will keep this save state. Please do let me know if you'd like to see me at least take on Austria, perhaps, just for longevity, because I don't have any immediate plans for a further Total War series, at least not with Napoleon. Yeah, please let me know if you want to see me take on Austria as a British. Maybe a full map completion, that would take quite a while. Or just try something completely different to stick with Napoleon. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you for sticking with the series. And I shall see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.